Right. Very good morning and a very warm welcome to all the delegates who've come for this Indian Network Memory Studies Conference 2024. I request that you all stand for the Tamil State Anthem and Vande Mataram, please.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டனிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां सस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्.
Right. Please be seated. Thank you. I have the pleasure now to invite the delegates of the inaugural to the stage. So if I could request Professor Manu Santhanam, Professor Rajesh Kumar, Professor Catherine O'Leary, Professor Ebin, and Professor Arun and Dr. Merin, Simi to kindly come on stage. Thank you. I now request our PhD scholar, Ms. Kritika Nautiyal, to kindly felicitate the guests on stage with a souvenir as well as a conference booklet. I now request the delegates on stage to kindly release the conference booklet and declare the conference officially and visually open. Right. So this year, we attempted to design a uniquely innovative and inclusive theme, which happens to be, as you all know, memory, security, and sustainability. And we're very lucky to have attracted over 650 abstracts from faculty colleagues, researchers, and industry partners from all across India, of course, but also from other countries such as the UK, US, Poland, Indonesia, and Bangladesh, among other countries. Of course, we are very overwhelmed by the increasing interest the IIMS conferences generate every year. And this gives us a happy confidence to continue serving as the largest national network for memory studies under the aegis of the International Memory Studies Association, MSA. And we also happen to be the only national network for memory studies in Asia. Now, of course, this is only possible due to the very supportive and innovative ecosystem we are very lucky to enjoy at IIT Madras, an institute which has emerged as a top-ranked national institute in our country for a number of years. We have a truly visionary leader in our Honorable Director, Professor V. Kamakoti, and our excellent deans who design a very enabling environment for all of us to produce and promote a rich range of research, always with a lot of imagination, curiosity, and empathy. We are delighted and honored to have among us today Professor Manu Santhanam, the Dean for Center for Industrial Consultancy and Sponsored Research, which is really one of the main engines which endlessly run and facilitate research and collaborations across individuals, organizations, and industry partners in this institute. Professor Santhanam is a professor in the Department of Civil Engineering and one of the top scientists globally in the field of design and durability studies, along with being part of the National Center for Safety of Heritage Structures. He's the author of numerous path-breaking publications in this field and the recipient of many prestigious awards, most recently having been awarded the Indian National Academy of Engineering, or INAE Fellowship, in 2024. It is my distinct honor now to invite our Dean, our very dear Dean, Professor Manu Santhanam, to kindly share his thoughts on this conference. Professor Santhanam.
Thank you, Avishek. Dignitaries on the dais, faculty and staff and students from various different universities and also industry participants who are here for this conference. I welcome you all on behalf of IIT Madras Director as well as all the faculty to this beautiful campus. Many of you may be coming here for the first time and would be awestruck by the kind of natural environment that we have our university settled in. We have been very fortunate, of course, to be a part of this really unique ecosystem. I mean, every day that we wake up here, we realize that we couldn't be in a better place at all in terms of the natural surroundings, the greenery, the animals and everything. Even the monkeys are bearable to a large extent. So I urge those of you who are here for the first time to please try and walk around the campus, see the sights, and enjoy the natural scenery that you won't get in the middle of a bustling city like Chennai. Again, as Avishek pointed out, IIT Madras has been ranked consistently #1 in the country. And one of the primary reasons why it is #1 is because of the emphasis on interdisciplinary research, where people cut across different streams and come together to really create very innovative ideas, very innovative ways of looking at things. And that's where I think we've scored a lot over the other institutes. Of course, this is not something which we take for granted. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to ensure that we manage to keep up the excellence that we've actually set the ground for. Again, in terms of research, we have, of course, several different centers of excellence in the campus. We also have research coming from within the departments and several different centers that have been set up with either government support or with industry support or through special grants and focus schemes like the Institute of Eminence scheme that we had running at IIT Madras. So IIT Madras is one of the institutes of eminence as per the Ministry of Education, for which we got a very large block grant for research for over 5 years. And several new initiatives were undertaken here to try and bring our research groups on par with the best in the world. So a lot of expenditure went into ensuring that the kind of facilities that we have for research should not be lacking in any sense and should be comparable to the best in the world, so that our already very well accomplished faculty and scholars can really not feel that absence from IITM. And because of that, we've really managed to ramp up our research in the last few years. There's been considerable increase in the number of high-quality research publications and very impactful work coming out of IITM. I have to say that the Center for Memory Studies is one such center that was a beneficiary of the first round of the IOE schemes. And because of that, there's a lot of very interesting work that has been going on. You saw the AV that ran in the beginning. Over the last 2 to 3 years, there's been a considerable amount of work that has been put together in this center. I really should congratulate Professor Avishek and Professor Merin for their wonderful effort. And I believe that this is only the start. Thank you. I think we should applaud. This is only the start. I think we have a long way to go. There is a lot of interesting work that will happen in the future, and I'm sure that they will be in the center as far as IITM is concerned, to ensure that all of the disciplines that we're talking about within this very interesting set of subjects can really be focused on in a large way. I also hope that many of you who are here will churn out new ideas in your deliberations that will lead to a lot of interesting scope for further research. I mean, not just from the perspective of the speakers, but also the participants over here who are not going to be talking in the conference, but bringing in their experience to share with the speakers to try and have a good two-way exchange of ideas. That's what conferences are about anyway. I hope that all of you have a very productive conference, and once again, I end my talk by welcoming you to this beautiful campus that we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Santhanam, for a very kind and very generous little piece. And this is what I meant when I said that there's always a lot of, and I always believe that interdisciplinarity and empathy go together. Because at the end of the day, both interdisciplinarity and empathy is the ability to imagine yourself as someone else, right? And I think that works at the epistemic level, institutional level, but also at a very, very hardcore neural psychological level. And we're very lucky, I think all colleagues will agree over here, there's a lot of imagination and empathy in the main engines which run this institute, and Professor Manu Santhanam, of course, is a perfect embodiment of that. Thank you so much, sir, for your very kind words. I now have the privilege and the honor to call upon the stage, this little point, our very dear head of the department, Professor Rajesh Kumar, who has been such a monumental support, as has Professor Jyotirmoy, who is sitting here, his predecessor. We've been very, very lucky to have excellent heads of departments, and ours is a very organically interdisciplinary department. We have many different streams put together, which allows us to exchange ideas at very, very abstract, concrete, very, very wonderful levels. And I think we're very lucky to have Professor Rajesh here, who is a professor in linguistics, a fantastic scholar in his own right, but also a constant source of support for our ventures in memory studies. It is my honor now to invite Professor Rajesh to share his thoughts on the conference.
Thank you, Avishek. I join our Dean of Industrial Consultancy and Sponsored Research, Professor Manu Santhanam, in welcoming you all to IIT Madras, to our Department of Humanities and Social Sciences as well. You have come to us for this 2024 edition of annual conference as part of the Indian Network of Memory Studies. The theme of this conference, Memory, Security, and Sustainability. This is aptly in line with the major goals of strategic plan of IIT Madras. I am thrilled to welcome you all to our Department of Humanities and Social Sciences. Center for Memory Studies is part of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences. You know, this conference is organized by this center, and it's not the first edition. And as Professor Santhanam mentioned, the center came into existence as part of Institute of Eminence grant in its first phase, and it has been doing wonderful research and organizing several such events. In the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, which is a constituent unit of IIT Madras, we work on wide range of research. We teach a range of courses. We have 40 members on our faculty, 200 plus research scholars, and around 500 undergraduate students from different MA programs in English studies, economics, and development studies. I also take this opportunity to extend cordial welcome to the keynote speakers of this conference, Professor Catherine O'Leary, who is a faculty and Dean of Arts at the University of St. Andrews, Professor Edwina Fitzmaurice, Chief Customer Service Officer at Ernst & Young, and Adjunct Associate Professor at Trinity College, Dublin, and Professor Pramod Nair, who is a professor and UNESCO chair in Vulnerability Studies in the Department of English at University of Hyderabad. At the same time, I extend my welcome to each participant, those who have traveled from different parts of the country, and also to those who are going to be presenting their work online. I gratefully acknowledge the hard work put together by two of our wonderful colleagues, Dr. Avishek Parui and Dr. Merin for putting this conference together. It takes hours of hard work to put people and to put this kind of conference together, along with research associates and research scholars. I thank them all for their hard work. I wish you all nice time on our green and clean campus with full of biodiversity, and hope that you had stimulating intellectual interactions during this conference. Welcome again to our campus. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Rajesh, for the most kind introduction and your thoughts on our center, as well as on this conference. I now have the pleasure to invite Professor Catherine O'Leary, who has traveled all the way from University of St. Andrews. We've had an MOU with them. We're just about to start some exciting programs with them very, very soon. And Catherine, of course, is a keynote speaker later today. But Professor Catherine Andrews is a professor in the School of Modern Languages. She's an expert in theater. She's an expert in modern languages. She just gave a fantastic talk for MA and PhD scholars on Waiting for Godot and Spanish politics. It was absolutely a fascinating session, and we've heard great things about it. She's also the Director of Cultural Identity and Memory Studies, CIMS, and the Dean of Arts and Divinity at University of St. Andrews. I now invite Catherine to share her thoughts on this conference.
Thank you, Avishek and Merin and colleagues, for the invitation to come to this wonderful conference. I met Avishek and Merin probably about 3 or 4 years ago now, and initially our interaction was all online, but it was based around the theme of memory studies because of the institute that I'm involved in and the centre that they've created here. And we have managed, despite distance and pandemic, to keep in contact and to keep active in our collaboration over the years. I was delighted that Avishek was able to come to my university in St. Andrews, which is in Scotland. So he has been over twice now, and I'm very much hoping that Merin will make it over before the end of this academic year also. So I'm delighted that we're able to continue our collaboration, and personally delighted to be here at IIT Madras. In addition, I've been looking at the at the programme for this conference, and I have to say it's very exciting. I'm really looking forward to the next few days. I can't decide what panel to go to at any stage because there's so many things on that I would love to see, hear, and attend. So are things being recorded? The panels are being recorded, so I'll have plenty of time to look at things afterwards. But I'm very much looking forward to this really exciting conference. And finally, to say that as somebody who has come from outside, I do feel extremely welcome here on campus. So thank you for that. It is an absolutely stunningly beautiful place. And as well as enjoying the conference here, I'm very much hoping that my institution and IIT Madras can further our collaborations so that we can retain these exciting connections. So thank you once again, and delighted to be here.
Thanks very much, Catherine. We indeed are looking forward to a number of joint programs and mobility programs together. So Catherine is here, obviously to speak as a keynote speaker in a conference, but also in an administrative capacity, speaking as she is with our very helpful colleagues at the Office of Global Engagement in IIT Madras. So he is looking forward to some very exciting journeys ahead. I now have the pleasure to call upon this dais Dr. Ebin Deni Raj, who's an Associate Dean, Academic Affairs, and a co-founder of Facts Age Lab, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Kottayam. And Dr. Ebin and Dr. Arun, Cyril, Jose are here in a very exciting collaboration. We're about to embark with a project we are doing together with Mozilla Foundation. Dr. Ebin's work is fascinating, and he works in a range of areas which include responsible AI, AI for social good, fairness, and accountability in AI. So in many ways, Dr. Ebin and Dr. Arun are the perfect persons for us to work together in a theme such as this, memory, security, sustainability, from the other end of the epistemic spectrum, coming as a dew from the sciences, but also with a very sensitive understanding of the sociality of technology, the social implications, the ethical implications of technology. So a very warm welcome to Dr. Ebin, and I now welcome him to share his thoughts on our conference.
So very warm good morning to all of you, and it is really a pleasure to be at IIT Madras, and thank you, the Center for Memory Studies, for inviting us to this wonderful conference. And as far as, I'll just add on something to what Avishek mentioned here. We started the collaboration like 3 years back with one project on Volkswagen Foundation. So all of us know that we kind of consume or generate data all the time, right? So we are kind of leading a data-driven life right now. So in this context, we have come across a project where like you had a lot of data, and we realized that not just technology is sufficient to basically build these things. So if you want to build fair, accountable, and transparent systems, you need to go for interdisciplinary collaboration. That's where our collaboration started. And I'm sure most of the technologists, they assume that like you can build things and that should be sufficient. And once it comes to the society, the other implications, maybe then only people start realizing. So we primarily work on this aspect of something called the FAT principles, where fairness, accountable, and transparent computing. So for that, humanities and social science has got really a huge role to play with. So like whether it is any sort of decision-making system, that has got a very significant role. So I'm sure the project with Mozilla Foundation also will have a similar flavor, and I also think that this is just only the stepping stone to newer and larger projects in the future. And thank you very much, and looking forward to more such sessions.
Thank you, Dr. Ebin. We indeed are very excited about our collaborations ahead. And as you mentioned, I think this is a very healthy and robust and organic interdisciplinarity, because AI, of course, is not just a scientific tool. It's a quotidian part of our daily lives. It is who we are, what we consume, what we purchase. So it is very essential, I would argue, to bring together different epistemic frames for a more nuanced understanding of what really goes on. Next, we have Dr. Arun Cyril Jose, co-founder of Facts Age Lab, faculty from IIIT Kottayam, Dr. Ebin's colleague. Again, fascinating areas of research interests, which include Internet of Things, IoT, cybersecurity and privacy, anonymity aspects of communication, and Dr. Arun, along with Dr. Ebin, are also our partners for this really interesting project with Mozilla that we are about to embark. So it is my honor to now call upon this dais Dr. Arun Cyril Jose and request him to share his thoughts on our conference.
A warm good morning to you all. Thank you for the invite to IIT Madras. Okay. So we are familiar with the term information as power, right? So it has never been more true than today. With IoT, you have your smartwatches, you have your smartphones, you have your smart pens, you have your smart everything. So the amount of data that these things generate, it is huge. Just like my colleague Dr. Ebin was saying, it is the amount of data these things generate is huge. So when Dr. Merin, when she visited our campus as part of our collaboration with Facts Lab and IIT Kottayam, she mentioned the concepts of cognitive offloading, and she mentioned extended mind theory, in which basically states that the phone that you hold, it is an extension of self. So by that logic, there's in the US, in the case Carpenter versus the United States, the court held that, okay, if you want to access a person's call record, you have to basically get a warrant for it. Or else, if you do it without it, that would be a violation of the Fourth Amendment there. So, which basically underlines what you guys were always saying. That is, your digital device is an extension of self. Okay, so we know that AI is the buzzword today. AI this, AI that, which is more evident by the increase in revenue and stock prices of your AI chip makers like NVIDIA and AMD. So after a certain extent, the efficiency of these AI algorithms, that would saturate. Then your next, that is, if you further want to improve your AI, your next option is to gather more data. So data becomes even more important in an AI-driven world. That is, whoever holds the more data can make more sense of whatever, or can make more, or can generate more insights into what you are trying to sell. So just like what data has been used for in retail marketing. For example, you know that milk is one of the most bought items in the grocery stores. So what they do that, they'll keep milk at the end of the aisle so that you'll have to go through the store to get to the milk that you actually want. So when you actually go through them, you have a more chance of buying other things. And there is another, I'm sure you are familiar with the diaper beer conundrum, no? Where men who bought diapers on Friday between 5 to 7 p.m., they usually purchase beer as well. So once they put beer and diaper together, the sale of beer and diaper both went up by around 30 to 35%. So similarly, how they use data to increase sales, that same principle will apply to our data as well. I'm sure we all use Google Pay, UPI, Amazon Pay, or Phone Pay, or whatever UPIs that you have. Now imagine the data that is collected from that for the past 2-3 years. Where would you like to eat? Which pharmacy you went to? Which movies or which movie theater you visited frequently, which hospital you have visited. Now imagine that data has been analyzed over the years. Okay, so that will have an impact on maybe on your next health insurance premiums. Okay, if you are a frequent drinker, maybe your health insurance premium might go up. Okay, so, or the UPI will also tell you whether you have, it will also tell you regarding your hobbies as well. That is, what addictions you have. Are you a gambling addict? I don't know, maybe. So, when you apply for your next home loan, your interest rate might be slightly higher as compared to someone who doesn't have a gambling addiction. So the point is, privacy has the data privacy has a significant role to play in today's data-driven world. So with this collaboration, we aim to create a secure, sustainable, and strong digital future. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Dr. Arun. I think it's absolutely fascinating because it really speaks to what we do in memory studies in terms of looking at the relationship between retrospection and anticipation, right? The anticipatory apparatus of memory, whether it's the neural apparatus or the cultural digital apparatus. And I suppose one of the things we are trying to achieve through this collaboration is to sort of study the triangulation of information, ethics, and empathy, and how can you sort of put these three together in a dialogue. So very, very grateful for your collaboration and looking forward to an interesting journey ahead. I now call upon stage my colleague and faculty coordinator of Center for Memory Studies, IIT Madras, Dr. Merin to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. As we conclude the inaugural session of INMS 2024, I'm honored to extend our deepest appreciation to all those who have made this event possible. First, our heartfelt thanks go to Professor Kamakoti, the Director of IIT Madras, for his steadfast leadership and for championing all our initiatives from the Center for Memory Studies. His vision and support have been crucial in bringing this conference and all our endeavors to life. I would also like to express our sincere gratitude to Professor Manu Santhanam, Dean of IC&SR IIT Madras, whose dedication to fostering interdisciplinary research has been instrumental in facilitating the academic excellence of this conference and our other ongoing research. A special vote of thanks to Professor Raghunathan Rangaswamy, Dean of Global Engagement, for promoting an inclusive and international academic dialogue. His efforts have been invaluable in broadening the global reach of this conference. We are equally grateful to Professor Mahesh Panjaknula, Dean of International and Alumni Relations, for his continuous support in strengthening the international partnerships that enrich this event. Our deep appreciation extends to Professor Rajesh Kumar, the head of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, for nurturing the intellectual foundation of this conference and also for guiding the academic direction of our discussions. We are very fortunate to have with us the previous head, Professor Jyotirmay Tripathi as well, who's offered his support to all our activities from the inception of the center. We're grateful to Professor Catherine, with whom we've been collaborating since 2019. Your partnership has been a source of great intellectual inspiration, and we look forward to continuing this journey together. You have set an inspiring tone for INMS 2024. We especially thank Dr. Ebin Deni and Dr. Arun from IIIT Kottayam for being here with us this morning. Your collaborative energy from IIIT has been instrumental in shaping our industry-oriented interdisciplinary approaches, particularly related to digital and data security. And this is evident in our recent initiation of the partnership with Mozilla Foundation. This, we believe, is a relationship that holds immense promise for all our future projects together. We also wish to acknowledge the impeccable coordination provided by the Code Office for conference management. Your professionalism and efficiency have ensured that everything runs seamlessly. In terms of infrastructure, we are thankful for the support provided by the Guest House, the CCW Engineering Unit, and NPTEL offices. Your logistical assistance has been vital in ensuring a comfortable and well-equipped environment for all our in-person as well as virtual participants. A special note of appreciation goes to our exceptional conference team run by 12 highly efficient research scholars and project staff at the Center for Memory Studies. Their hard work and commitment are truly the backbone of this event. Finally, we extend our deepest gratitude to all of you, our participants. All of you have joined us here in person as well as virtually from different parts of the world. Your presence and insights have enriched this conference, and as a remarkable tone has already been set for many intellectual discussions to follow. At IINMS conferences, we always emphasize the collaborative nature of our pursuits, and we reiterate that this is a shared journey of memory building. The most powerful memories are the ones we build together. They shape our understanding of the past, while also leading us together towards a future that we create collectively. Once again, on behalf of the Center for Memory Studies and IINMS 2024, I thank you all for your contributions, and we look forward to a vibrant exchange of ideas through the next 3 days. May I now request all of you to kindly stand for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
With this, we now conclude the inaugural session. Please join us for refreshments in the main dining hall, which is right across this auditorium. The subsequent sessions will be held in Hall 1, Hall 2, and Hall 3 on the same floor. You can find the volunteers, the ones who are wearing the red tag. Please approach our student volunteers in case you need any clarification about anything throughout the sessions. Thank you all very much.